Welcome back to Inverted Aviators RC. If you fly RC planes, drones, or FPV aircraft, antennas are one of the most important parts of your setup and people don't talk about it all that much. Today we're going to walk through what antennas are, how they work, the different types of antennas, what antennas you might want on your systems, how the different systems work, and what actually matters when choosing your antenna. Let's dive in. At the most basic level, antennas are little devices that allow electronics to send and receive information wirelessly through the air. In RC, this is exactly how any of this is even possible through your transmitter in your plane, is through antennas. When you move a stick on your transmitter, the electrical signal is generated inside the radio. The antenna then converts that electronic signal into a radio wave that travels outwards through the air. Your aircraft's receiver antenna captures that radio wave and converts it back into an electrical signal that the receiver can understand, which is how your model knows what to do. You can think of antennas as the invisible bridge in between our electronics and the invisible radio waves that are traveling all amongst us. Another important detail is that the antennas are designed for specific frequencies. In RC, the most common frequencies are 2.4 GHz for control signals and 5.8 GHz for FPV video. The shape and size of the antenna determines how efficiently it works at these different frequencies, which is why some antennas exist in different systems. Nearly every wireless component in RC contains some sort of antenna. Your transmitter has one, your receiver has one, and often two. Your FPV video transmitter has one, and your goggles usually have multiple antennas working together to capture the best possible signal. For example, small FPV cameras like the Wolfwhoop WTO3 have a tiny antenna attached directly onto the board so they can transmit video. And many modern FPV goggles combine different types of antennas so they can maintain a strong video signal regardless of where the aircraft is positioned. Even small electronics like Arduino boards or flight controllers sometimes even have tiny built-in antennas for wireless communication. In other words, antennas are not just part of the RC system. They are integrated into almost every single wireless device we use. The next step is understanding that not all antennas act and work in the same way. The most common type of antenna is an omnidirectional antenna. Now these send and receive signals in a donut shape around you, which makes it perfect for general RC flying because the plane can be in front of you with great signal, to the side or behind. Pretty much anywhere in a relatively close range is really high signal. The goal of the omnidirectional antenna is simple: maintain a reliable connection regardless of where the aircraft is located. One common example is the monopole or whip antenna. This is the classic antenna you see sticking out of transmitters or receivers, and is usually designed to be about a quarter of the signal's wavelength and offers good range and reliability for everyday RC use. Another common design is the dipole antenna. These are very common on receivers and often look like a small coax cable with a short exposed tip at the end. They provide reliable signal reception and are widely used in RC aircraft. For FPV systems, another omnidirectional design you'll often see is the cloverleaf antenna. These antennas use circular polarization, which helps maintain signal quality when the radio waves bounce off objects like trees, buildings, or the ground. That makes them especially useful for drones and FPV aircraft that fly close to obstacles, or in my case, around a bunch of trees or uprights or a whole bunch of fun stuff. And while omnidirectional antennas are really good for a very general area, sometimes you want to focus things in a very specific direction. And thankfully, people have already thought of that. Directional antennas focus their signal in one specific direction. Think about it as a flashlight versus a lantern. A lantern will give off light in all directions, but not very far. And if you had a flashlight, you could shine it in a very specific direction a lot further than a lantern. Directional antennas work exactly the same way. Instead of having a donut shape around you, they have a pie slice, which focuses very strongly in one specific direction. So if you're flying around you, you might want to use an omnidirectional antenna because that's really close. But if you're planning on doing more long-range flying or in a straight direction away from you, a patch antenna is the way to go. Now you might be wondering, how do I pick in between a patch antenna and an omnidirectional antenna? Because how do I know if I'm going to be flying close to me or far away from me? Well, thankfully, a lot of receivers support something called diversity. This means that the receiver can pick in between whichever signal is stronger and show you that image feed. So, for example, when I'm flying the Evo close around me, the receiver will most likely use the omnidirectional antenna because I am close range in that donut shape around me, so the omni is really good. But what happens if I want to test a little bit of range? I'm going to fly all the way across the field, which I know is going to be far away from me. So on my goggles, I'll point this patch antenna exactly where I'm going to fly, and as I get further and further away, I will go outside of this donut shape. Now I'm in the pie slice, which a lot of food references, but it makes things a little bit easier to understand. Once I'm in the pie slice, the diversity receiver will switch from the omnidirectional antenna to the directional antenna and let me fly a lot further away with a lot higher signal strength and a lot more confidence in my ability to go longer distances. Once you understand the different antenna types, the next step is understanding how to use them correctly. There are a few key factors that determine how well an antenna will perform in your RC setup. One of the most important is polarization. Polarization describes how the radio waves are oriented as they travel through the air. RC control systems typically use linear antennas like dipoles, while FPV video systems often use circularly polarized antennas. Circular polarization comes in two types: right-hand circular polarized and left-hand circular polarized, or RHCP versus LHCP. The important thing that both ends on the system must match. If your aircraft uses a right-hand circular polarization, your goggles must also use RHCP. Mixing the two can dramatically weaken this signal. And this is pretty easy to see on your antennas, like this one here has RHCP on the bottom, so just make sure it matches up on both the transmission and the receiving side of the antennas. Another key factor is frequency. Control links most commonly operate on 2.4 GHz, while FPV video systems typically operate on 5.8. Antennas must be designed for the same frequency as the system that they are connected to. Using the wrong antenna frequency will significantly reduce performance. And the last and maybe most important thing to consider while picking out antennas is the placement. Antennas should be kept away from carbon fiber frames, metal components, large batteries, and large objects filled with water, like your head. Many pilots route receiver antennas away from these sort of things in order to get different angles and the best reception from the transmitter to the receiver. Make sure that your antennas have a clear path, and things should turn out just fine. One small detail you really have to consider when looking at antennas is the actual little connector type at the end. And there's two main types of connectors. There is SMA and RP-SMA. With a standard SMA connector, the male side has the center pin and the female side has the socket. With RP-SMA, which stands for reverse polarity SMA, these center contacts are flipped. The connector that looks male on the outside actually has the socket instead of the pin. I actually think the reason behind SMA versus RP-SMA is kind of fun. Back in the days of the brand new consumer Wi-Fi equipment, the distributors didn't want people to attach their own high gain antennas, which might wreck with the regulations at the time. So they made the RP-SMA, which is just reverse polarity SMA. But pretty much they made it so these male sides that normally have the pin now has a socket. So when you went to attach your antenna, it just wouldn't be compatible. Now, RP-SMA and SMA connectors are totally normal and used in the FPV and the RC world, but it's just make sure that you know what you're getting. So in this case, we've got a male RP-SMA connector because there's a socket, and I've got a female RP-SMA because it's got the pin. I know these are going to work together because one side has to have a pin, one side needs the socket. So just make sure to double check when you're buying your antennas to make sure that both sides match. Even though antennas are pretty simple, it's even simpler to make a mistake and wreck the performance of these antennas on your build. Mounting antennas directly against carbon fiber frames can block signals, and using mismatched circular polarization antennas can cause severe signal loss. Pointing directional antennas away from the aircraft will also not help you, and it'll reduce their effectiveness. Another common issue is damaging the exposed tip of a receiver antenna. That small exposed section at the very end is actually the active element in the antenna, and damaging it can greatly reduce range. So if you're flying a quadcopter or a plane and you accidentally whack off the end of your antenna, don't try to just straighten it out and use it. You're best off trying to replace that antenna. That's because you're going to greatly reduce the range by just nicking off a couple centimeters or an inch. You're going to really hurt your performance, so it's better off just to replace it and save yourself the unfortunate crash. Small changes in antenna placement or orientation can often make a huge improvement on signal reliability, so make sure that things are looking squared away before you go fly. So you might be wondering, how do these antennas actually work at the field? So for this example, let's say that my blue antenna is sitting on my FPV system, meaning it's constantly sending out video information and it's waiting for this red antenna to receive it and display it in the goggles. these will work the best when both antennas are on the same plane, meaning they are both sticking straight up and we have the most clear connection between this side of the antenna and this side. We don't need it pointing, we want on the same plane. So let's say I'm on the ground with my goggles here and I'm flying around with my plane. This will be the absolute best signal, especially if I'm close with these omnidirectional antennas. But as they sit vertical like this, we will get the best reception. If I start flying a little crazy and my antenna stops sticking straight up on the same plane as my receiver antenna, we're going to get a worse connection, which means a few things. As you are orienting both of these antennas, think about how it's most likely going to be used. On my plane, I want to have this antenna sticking straight up out of the top because if I'm flying normally, this antenna will be sticking straight up. So for example, on my Viper here, you can see my antenna is sticking straight up at the top. That's not saying I can't fly all wonky, which we know I do, but as I am flying most normally, I'm going to have this antenna straight up. That should also be matched on your goggles. So as I'm orienting this antenna on my goggles, I want it straight up, and I want it away from any, I don't want it here because my head's gonna mess with this antenna. I want it straight up away from my body so that as I'm sitting flying, it's straight up. If it's off to the side, it's not gonna match with this plane on this antenna. Get it straight up, then you'll always have the best possible chance. So that's our first example on the FPV system. Now let's say instead of using these antennas, I'm gonna use my transmitter because hey, another antenna there, there's actually another antenna right here, but for this case, I'm gonna be using this external antenna. It has the option to bend it up and bend it around. Why would I wanna do that? Well, once again, let's say that I'm gonna be flying. So I'm pointing this antenna straight forward. My plane is sitting over here like this. And as you can see, these are no longer on the same plane. Now, they're not parallel, which means I'm gonna be getting the worst reception in between the transmitter here and the receiver here. If I bend this antenna up, that means we are now on the same plane, right? These are now parallel. So as I'm flying, I'm getting much better reception because I'm no longer pointing. I am now aligned. So just things to consider while setting up your plane. Make sure you set up your antennas so that they're in the correct orientation, in the position that they're most often going to be used. Or in short, if you can point them up, point them up. Now there are sometimes receivers have two antennas, which are at a 90-degree angle. And that's because as you move, let's do it with this. As you move, there's always gonna be one antenna that's pretty darn close to the correct orientation. So if these are my receiver signals, and this is my transmitter. As you can see, there's one vertical, one vertical. As my plane rotates, oh, look at that, a new antenna is in the correct orientation. There's always going to be an antenna that is properly aligned with my transmitter. In short, do your best to align these things. It's never going to be perfect, but just do your best to align them best you can. Antennas might look really simple, but they provide a lot of reliability and performance on your plane as well as your goggles. They determine how far you could fly and how reliable you can feel in your build and in your flight times. All right, that is antennas. There's probably a bit more you could dive into if you want to get into the real nitty-gritty on what to buy and what to get, but this is all the information I use when it comes to buying new antennas. As you can see, I bought a whole bunch over time, and there's even more in my goggles, like the little tiny omnidirectional ones that go onto my DJI goggles V2, but there's also more like the little whip antennas that go into receivers like these little ones. There's a whole lot of things, but in general, as long as you match the RHCP versus LHCP as well as the SMA versus RP-SMA, you should be all set. And especially if your camera comes with an antenna already built in, makes it even easier. So first I want to say thank you for watching. It's always fun to make these videos, just kind of showing off what I go through, what I think about when I'm buying things like this. And thank you to the members. You guys are the reason that we're able to do these fun projects and these fun videos. So thank you so much. If you want to become a member, join the crew. It's been a strong uptick in members. I think we're up to 7 now, which is 5 more than last month, which is awesome. But thank you so much to the members. You guys are the reason we're able to do this. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this content, make sure to like it. If you love the content, make sure to subscribe. But let me know if there's other things of the FPV build that you want me to go through, because I find it really fun. So thank you so much for watching, and stick around for more videos like this.